right, welcome back to Morning Live. Now, yesterday, the 9th of March, was World Kidney Day, a global event to raise awareness about kidney health as well as chronic kidney diseases. Events take place worldwide to talk about prevention and tips on living with this ever-growing illness. This year's theme, Kidney Disease and Obesity, aims at reminding the public how diabetes and high blood pressure are critical risk factors for chronic kidney diseases. Renal Med Services is a Limpopo-based facility that specializes in this ailment. So now in our studios in Johannesburg, we're joined by Dr. Joseph Nkoko, who is a renal doctor at the facility, and he's also accompanied by Hlanganani Sateche, who is a renal nurse. Good morning to you and welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming through. Let's start with you, Dr. Nkoko. Talk to us about kidney failure and chronic kidney diseases. What causes those?
The most causes of kidney disease, usually, it all depends on regional and where in the country. If you go close to the Limpopo, most of the causes will be the herbal medicine overdose of treatment of herbal. And the most cause of the whole world is diseases like diabetes mellitus and hypertension. Those are the major cause of renal failure. The next one will be hereditary, where you from father to the son, from mother to the daughter. That will be things like hydronephrosis, polycystic kidneys. And the next one will be also our main drugs that we take. Drugs that we take without being prescribed, without being monitored, they also can affect our kidneys. Above all, HIV has brought so much confusion on the effect and the disease renal kidney.
Now, you made mention of herbal medicines, especially referring to the northern parts of South Africa, the Limpopo area. So are you saying meriana ya setso e re sebedisang le yona contributes towards the disease?
Yes, in our area it is a major cause of our problems, because people are taking doses that are not measured, are not tested, and we have a lot of them.
But Sister Hlanganani, how prevalent is kidney failure in South Africa? I mean, we do know that 70 to 80% of chronic kidney failure diseases, or deaths rather, can be preventable. But how often do you come across such cases?
Quite a lot. It's getting even worse, you know, with time. Because in my history of nursing, when I started, we had situations that it couldn't even be diagnosed, because remember, the signs and symptoms are not, it's not something that you can see that you have a kidney failure. But with time, like Dr. Nkoko has just said, you find that a person is focusing on diabetes mellitus or hypertension, or maybe you are HIV on drugs, and then only to find that in the long run you've got a kidney failure.
So it's a silent killer like diabetes?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is, because it's when diabetes complicates or hypertension complicates. And sometimes you find that the kidney, remember, it's just like cancer. It goes in stages. Yeah. There's stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, 4 and 5, so to say. And then the final stage, it's when the kidney is failing completely, where you need dialysis. And then in an acute phase, we've got something called GFR from the blood test. And then when you get the result, the GFR is the one that will tell if you have renal failure or not. But then we have situations where people are concentrating mainly on diabetes or hypertension until such time maybe you collapse at work, or there's quite a number of people who had renal failure for quite a long time, but they were not aware that they are having renal failure.
So what is advisable? Do we go for constant checkups of kidneys, doctor? What should happen?
We should go for constant checkup of the whole of our body. We should make sure that at least once in a month, if you've got some family histories, you make sure that you check your blood pressure, you check your blood glucose. Even males, you know, the prostate cancer can obstruct the whole urine and cause renal failure. Then you need to check your prostate, and make sure that you are healthy. and protect your kidney.
Yeah, let's talk about this year's theme, kidney disease and obesity. Quite an important one, I believe, because looking at the stats back in 2015, over 600 million adults worldwide were obese. So this should be contributing huge in numbers in terms of people who get chronic diseases, kidney chronic diseases as well as kidney failure.
We are top in Africa, South Africa, in terms of Africa, and 70% of our women have got are obese. The effect of obesity in our body is that if you've got obesity, you are prone, it's associated with high cholesterol, associated with diabetes, as we have said, associated with high blood pressure, associated with arthritis. All these things are causing immobility that will also end up affecting our own kidneys.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a huge problem.
Sister. It is a huge problem, yes.
It is a huge
especially
problem.
In the, let me not just be specific to say where, but my observations in the rural areas are the places that are not, say, neglected, so to say.
Is it because of non-accessibility of medications, maybe proper treatments and proper diagnosis, maybe?
Like I said earlier on, concentrating on, say, diabetes or hypertension, or so to say. And later on, you discover that you've got renal failure until you are tested to check if your kidneys are functioning.
Yeah, yeah. Now, you've been a nurse, especially in this field, for quite a while. Yes. And specifically, you started concentrating on this field of kidney failure and any chronic diseases related to kidneys. How have things been? What attracted you to this field specifically to focus on kidneys?
It's because when I was doing my training, I can remember vividly there are patients that when I was working in ICU or high care that died from kidney failure. And maybe let me say, even my father, my biological father, I can tell as I'm sitting here to say, looking at the signs and symptoms and all the causes, the way he looked when he was sick, I can attest to say he had kidney failure, but we didn't know then.
It wasn't detected.
Yes,
yeah.
We didn't know then. It was not detected. He was never tested for that.
Right.
Until such time in the profession, I learned about kidney. I started working in the dialysis unit, and then I realized it's affecting quite a number of people. And it doesn't have an age restriction.
Yeah.
Because maybe people think that it's
for older people.
Yes, for older people.
Yeah.
Or
but Doctor, I believe everything boils down to healthy eating.
Yes.
As I wrap up,
Okay.
so people should stick to their healthy diets.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much for coming.
And avoid using over-the-counter medication.
Over-the-counter.
Because what we call painkillers also can cause kidney
failure. We
failure.
always reach for those every time we get some pains on our body. Thank you so much for having come to Morning Live this morning. We appreciate it a lot.
Okay.
All right, now there you have it. That's Dr. Joseph Ngoko, as well as Renal Med Services, talking to us about the World Kidney Day that was remembered yesterday, and the campaign really aiming to encourage people at risk to get screened, as well as learn more about life-saving organ donation.